Hello everyone who decided to watch this video. Today we'll be discussing what it's like living at an eating disorder clinic. How fun is that? Wonderful. Now before we talk about what it's like living in an eating disorder clinic, let me just say that this isn't going to be like a serious and sad video because I just don't do that. And I don't like really making people feel bad for me. So this is just gonna be hopefully a fun video. It's just gonna trash talk the place. But anyways, I guess we can just talk about it now. Yay! So when I first arrived, they had me wait in this area. They hand me this patient journal, which basically just shows a pamphlet with your team, which is your therapist, nutritionist, and doctor. And then they have you transferred to like this room where a couple patients hang out. So then you have to wait a while, and then they take your weights and your vitals, make sure everything's going fine. Then eventually your team comes, like your therapist and everything, and they ask you a bunch of questions right off the bat. It's kind of creepy, but they ask you if you're depressed, you have anxiety, etc., etc., etc. And then you just hang around a bit. So yeah, that's basically it. It's kind of boring. I mean, I guess you meet patients because they all surround you and ask you your name, your age, where you live. So I guess that's pretty cool. So for your daily routines, you basically wake up at like 6 a.m. You wait in line to get your SGs, which basically means you pee in a cup. And after you pee in a cup, you wait outside another line for vitals, which is like your weigh-in or whatever. So when you do your weigh-in, they basically have you undress around these curtains. They give you like this cheap robe, which easily breaks, as I found out my first day. And then they have you step on the scale. They have you lay down on this hospital bed thing, and they put like this vital thing on your finger and like check your pressure, blood pressure, and that's basically it. But dang, that line took forever. And I'm so glad I'm not there anymore just because of that. And during the day, they give you bathroom breaks. If you really have to go, you can ask a staff, but they'll just glare at you, but they have to take you to the bathroom. It's usually a 1-to-1, which if you don't know what that is, you basically have to share a stall while the staff looks away while you piss. It's very uncomfortable. I hated them so much. It was so awkward because they would also like talk to you too, make sure you're not, purging. It was just ugh. Also, the lines for the bathroom were, as you may guess, very long. Like the average day is you basically have groups, which is just coping skills, anxiety tools, etc. It depends on what level you are. Like level 1s get less privileges than level 2s. And so the groups are usually more boring when you're level 1. So there's less fun. And if you're bored, the only things you can do is just knit. Yes, just knit, read, but you have to get your books approved, do a puzzle, and then what also sucks is we only get 1 hour at a time for like movies and TV. And that's at like after 6, I think. I don't know. But yeah, it's very boring if you go and just... What was I gonna say? Anyways, as I was saying, it's very boring. I mean, I managed to knit I don't know how many scarves there, and a couple hats. Yeah, I knitted a lot. At least I know how to knit now. Yay! So in the evening, you get to watch a movie, as I previously mentioned. There's also cleanup time after that. Then you get to go to they call it the spa, but it's really just a bathroom, and you can take a shower. I think it's only like 10 minutes in, and then you get to brush your teeth, put on pajamas, get your medications, and go to sleep in your room, like when they open them, because they're all locked, which is at 8-ish. I don't know, 8:30. So yeah, I really liked the nights there because everyone was really crazy. It was fun. We got to tell stories before rooms opened. So yeah, pretty fun, I guess. So on weekends, it's basically everything I mentioned before that, except there's no groups, and you also get to have your family visit for an hour. Yeah, that's fun. Some rules there is like no shaking your leg, no standing up, no doing anything that involves movement, just sitting there. But there's some rules for sitting. Your back must have to be all the way to your chair. Your feet must be firm, like don't stretch them. And you can't lay on your belly. If you do manage to exercise, and if they catch you, you get like this boost thing, which I'll talk about later, which basically gives you extra calories that you burned. So don't do that. It's not good. You'll just get caught. So for meal times, you have 3 snacks, which are all 15 minutes long, and you have main meals, which are a half an hour long. When you're doing meals, you have to have your feet on the not your feet. Your hands on the table at all times, because they think you might be hiding food if they're not on the table. And then you also have to eat regularly, like not too slowly, not too fast, and you have to eat all of it, otherwise they'll give you a boost. And staff at your table also play games with the other patients. One game I played that I personally liked was a movie game, because it was always really fun and I had some laughs. I just have good memories. Something I didn't like at mealtimes was the food. The food tastes freaking awful. Like, they always gave me tuna tacos for lunch, and that is the worst food I have ever tasted in my life. Wouldn't recommend. Don't ever try them. So for the patients are all really nice. Like, when you walk in, you're worried, like, will they like me or will they won't? I say the majority were girls, but there were some boys, if you're wondering. So yeah, I got to be friends with almost all of them, which is cool. And I don't think there was many incidents until like the last 2 weeks I was there, and that was just because someone was exercising in front of others. There's also community where you get to discuss issues and discuss all the tea with other patients who are causing havoc. No, honestly, like nothing really happened. It was just really boring. So yeah, the patients are pretty nice. I always got in trouble because I would trash talk about the staff with other patients. So the staff there are, for the most part, nice. There are a few bad ones. But you always find bad ones. There was this one staff member in particular, though, which she was kind of creepy. I remember one of the patients told me, like, when she was in the bathroom with her, she had self-harm scars on her arm, and the staff member asked her, did they hurt, or something like that. So I don't know if she got in trouble. Hopefully she did, because it's not something you ask. Like, what the heck? Some of the staff members that a lot of the patients hated were actually pretty funny and cool. I remember talking about conspiracies with one of the staff members during meals and just cracking jokes with them, which is cool. But there was this one staff member who he's from England, so he's British, and he thinks that anyone mocking his accent is racist. So we can't really joke with him because he just takes everything personally. But he was pretty cool. He had cool tattoos. When you finally leave, you get to announce to everyone during community or the end of the day wrap up about when you're going to leave, like when's the date, and then you get to pick out a goodbye movie. Mine was Shrek 2. Awesome choice. Speaking of movies, which I forgot to mention, they had to be PG because there's like little kids there, like 12-year-olds, and it didn't have to it didn't contain food or exercising that much. You also get to make goodbye cards. It's optional, but I chose to because I felt generous. And then you also get to choose your past patient name. Mine was past patient Lil G, which is kind of dumb. It was the name of my stress ball I always had because anxiety is always fun. So when the day has come for you to finally leave, you get to pick out like this rock with some quote on it, and you get to talk about it, and the others will, like the other patients will get to sing your goodbye song. Mine wasn't really a song, it was just an impression of Mike Wazowski. It's kind of cringy, but it was funny at the time. And then once you finally leave, you get transferred to PHP. You get to go home with your family at night, go to the building, like it's a different building, in the morning. And when you finally get there, like there's other patients there that have left the other building where you stayed there full time, and it's basically the same, except you get to go on outings and it's more boring, sadly. You're supposed to stay there for 3 weeks, but I got off the hook and only had to stay there for like 1.5 weeks. So that's the end of my video. I know I didn't go into everything in deep detail, mostly because I'm lazy. And secondly, I probably forgot a bunch of stuff. So if you want a part 2, let me know. If anyone bothers to watch this or comment, which will probably only be like a maximum of 2 people. So feel free to subscribe to my shitty channel or leave a like or a dislike because this video was awful. Or comment about how bad the audio is. So hope you have a good day and stay cool, dogs. I hate myself.